Happy Saturday. A little gloomy day over here in Manhattan, but everything else is extremely abundant and fantastic. And we got a very special show for you today. The Paradigm Shift episode 157 with not one, but two unbelievable guests. Grab the journal, grab a cup of coffee, buckle up, let's have some fun. Uncle Dave, I see you, bringing you on in less than 15 seconds. Less than 15 seconds. Let's do this. See you, brother. And let's have a great show. Great show. Uncle Dave.
Hello.
Hi, handsome.
What's going on, my brother?
Everything's great. A little bit gloomy out here, but no place in the world I'd rather be than right here with you. How are you?
Vice versa. I'm doing fantastic. And I just got off the phone with my great friend and client, Jennifer Marr, who said she's coming to your UN. Wanted to tell everybody to join you at the UN. You're going to be speaking there. So we're celebrating it with fireworks this morning, and it will be fireworks and fire afterwards. So see my man Siegel, the Eagle, flying high above Manhattan, right around the block from my daughter's place. And I just wish I could be there, but I'll be there April 1st through 4th. And we will rock and roll Manhattan, whether it's gloomy, sunny, rainy, snowy. You never know what you're going to get in April 1st for April Fools.
Yeah, and about that, I was going to call you later today after the show. A couple things. Number one, I want to acknowledge you. You know, I called you with this idea to do our first VIP dinner after speaking, and you kind of pushed me to play a little bit bigger. And I have some great updates for you, and it's awesome how it's unfolding. And number two, it just goes to show the amazing people that everyone has the opportunity to meet when they're in your proximity, because I met her at an event that you had here in New York City. So great stuff, and I want to acknowledge you for that.
Yeah, well, there's going to be many, many more. I've been encouraging people to show up, and there's guys that don't get it, right? There's guys that don't get it, and so they don't show up, and they don't understand. I charge people to come to certain things because it's a profit center, and I can guarantee it. So there's no risk in showing up, but yet, so many people are scarce. All they say is, well, can I come for free? No, then you're not worth coming. If you want to come for free, come to my meetup. If you really want to learn and network, then come to a free meetup. But, we have over the top dinners that have expenses, but more importantly, why won't you make the investment in yourself? And so many people have the wrong paradigm shift and they're scarce. And it's amazing because, I do so many of these, sometimes 3 or 4 a week. And, I'll give you an example, Craig, because I think it's really good. I have an old friend. He's an amazing guy, played for the Cincinnati Bengals. And, he was one of those guys that it wasn't a priority to show up. He, wasn't doing that well, but, wouldn't even make the investment in himself to show up to one of these where we have billionaires, we have millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, entertainers at these things. The biggest names in the world. I mean, the last one, we had the owner of the Suns. We had Flex Lewis, 7-time Mr. Olympia. We had Major, 80 million records sold. We had Tim Story, speaks for itself. The list went on and on. And, anyway, this Bengal came and, he's been in the same place for the last 5 years, always asking for favors, always being a favor, never making an investment in himself. He shows up and he ends up with a C-level $400,000 plus equity job because he now had exposure in a relationship to someone that actually could utilize his capabilities. And this happens every single time. And that's what brings value to what you do, what I do. And it's amazing to me how I have to twist people's arms or Jewish guilt them sometimes into helping themselves. A lot of times I want more for the people I work with than they want for themselves. And they're so far in their way that they're not willing. And I could understand the excuse, I don't have the money except for one thing. I guarantee it. Meaning, you find the effing money, and I will guarantee if you don't come out as a profit center, I'll do it. I'll give you all your money back and pay for your dinner. But I want you to invest in yourself because people, that see value, pay for value, and make more value. That's the whole idea of an infinite loop of abundance.
I agree. And let me just say from speaking from contrast, I think that this is even probably more spiritual than people understand. You're talking about basically having the desire to understand that this is all going to be a profit center and work out well for you. And if you don't have the desire, if you have the desire to have the desire, then you're on the right path. And probably, if I'm being honest, in the beginning, I didn't fully get it, but I do now. But I had the desire to have the desire. And if you could be on that path, then you can figure it all out. But I just want to echo everything that you just said. It's a no-brainer to get these ripped. And you have to stop thinking about, oh, it costs this or it costs that. What are you going to receive? Who are you going to meet? How is your network going to evolve and so forth? So
yeah, look, if you really can't afford it, then talk to me or show up to the free. It's one thing when the people won't show up to the free stuff and then they ask for free for the charge stuff, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, if you're serious, then, and I've had people that show up to free Friday trainings. I've been doing it for over 24 years. They show up to the free meetups. Then they come to me and say, hey, I can't afford this, but I really want to go. Is there anything we can work out? I either discount it heavily or let them come for free because I know they're going to show up because they've been showing up for free. But it's obvious what the people are doing that don't show up and then want to come for free to the things that are more intimate in nature and have expenses for me. It's an interesting nuance. And then I have to fight my own ego, which is the need to be offended. And so because I want so much for other people, then I get a need to be offended when they don't want as much for them as I want for them. But that's my own issues and I deal with them every day.
Yeah, and speaking of showing up, I have a little bit of an obsession with you, and I can't wait to see you. First of all, I'll see you in New York, but also I'm not sure if you have any more capacity. You can let everybody know right now, but I'll see you in Augusta for the Masters for that dinner. And
we do for the dinner. We do for the dinner, not for the mastermind. The mastermind has been sold out for a while, but we're going to be taking private jets down to the Masters mastermind, going out on the course. For the dinner though, we got John Daly, Josh Miranda, me, Eric Weir, many, many others. We'll be circling with David Abelese, with the CEO of TaylorMade, and the executives with Travis Matthew, who's the big partner of mine. It's the softest, most comfortable, best looking clothes for especially the middle-aged mutant turtles out there like me. They make me look so good. I got so many compliments just on a Travis Matthew t-shirt that I wore to SoFi yesterday. We had some extraordinary people swinging on by. We had Fleischman Fenster, Tulsi. We had Albert Preciado. We had so many unbelievable people yesterday. I love having my studio there. And I got really big news that we're swinging, signed our deal with another big property. So you'll be seeing a big press release on who I've signed with and what we're doing, and another big property that I'm executive producing. And so a really big show that we have partnered in that had 7 seasons on HBO. So I'm now the executive producer of the remake of that show, which we're going to be coming out with. So a lot of good things, man. Surround yourself with the right people and the right ideas. And I'm coming to New York though, Craig. So put it on there before the Masters, April 1st through 4th. So if you don't show up, I'm not going to show up on the Saturday. So if you're not there, I'm going to start not showing up for the people that don't show up. But you're showing up for me, so I'm not worried. And a big shout out, of course, to Scott Protein Balls. I went on this huge show with Cardone, and we had like a 5-minute riff about Scott's Protein Balls. And I do want to tell you, they're the greatest balls you could ever eat. And for good luck, don't forget to bang your balls on your chin before you eat them. Scott's Protein Balls.
You're sick, and I love all of it. But for the news about the big show, I expect to be on the inside for stuff like this. What gives?
Oh yeah, well, because I just signed yesterday. So your time, it was about 7 p.m. your time. I signed yesterday, so you're on the inside. You're on the inside because I went to Nobu to celebrate. My daughter flew in from Wisconsin. Left this morning at 5 a.m. for Cabo. Her and her friends. She lived. When I die, I don't know if I want to come back as Marlena or Julie, but I know I want to come back as one of those people.
I love it. This is great. Congratulations, all kidding aside. We're going to bring on our first guest today. Speaking of CEOs, we're about to bring on the former CEO of 7-Eleven and Blockbuster, no big deal, Jim, who I'm super pumped about. And we'll get this party started. You dig?
I dig.
Should we turn on commenting or no?
Go ahead. You can always turn it off.
That's true. There he is.
Hey guys.
Hey Jim, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on a beautiful Saturday. Where are you dialing in from?
Texas, Dallas. It's as you can see, it's a pretty day out there. Looks a little gloomy out your window, Craig.
Yeah, it is, but I feel better now because I'm graced with your presence. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah, one of the awesome things that we're just going to dive right in for our audience, play catch up. You wrote a pretty awesome book called Education is Freedom. And one of the really powerful things that you talk about in there is not only learning, but how to learn. And I think that's really cool. What is something tangible that people joining us this morning can apply from how to actually learn? And what is one of your favorite takeaways and nuggets from the book?
Well, I think, and by the way, hi, David. Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you again.
David and I had a great chat not too long ago, so it's great to see you again. Craig, I'm going to echo your words. You got to have the desire to have the desire. You just said that, and I love it. I wish I had put it in the book because really that's what it's all about. It's kind of a roadmap for everybody. I set out to help young people. I said, yeah, I'm going to write a book that will help kids want to go to school, stay in school, just learn as much as they can, because basically it's the more you learn, the more options you have. It's all about optionality and ability to pivot and change direction. I've done it a number of times in my career. I've gone from financial side to operating side. I wouldn't have that flexibility without the breadth of education that I had. I wanted to share that with others, but what I'm finding, I put a roadmap in here, what to learn, how to learn, and why to learn. And what really has shocked me is getting on podcast shows like talking to David and getting exposure. You mentioned Eric War. I've been talking to a lot of people about this, and I'm finding that entrepreneurs are my biggest audience right now. I'm getting a huge response from young business people that are hungry for success, that are saying, you know what, it really is all about learning. The more I learn, the more money I can make, the more businesses I can expand into and do. And so it's been a really fascinating journey.
Dave, same frequency?
Yeah, well, we got a great conversation going because, education to me is the tagline to every single show I'm on and every interview I do, which is be more interested than interesting. And why do you have to pay the dummy tax when we have resources that are accessible today in order to facilitate not making the same mistakes that others have made in the past? And that's what truly education is, right? Learning the lessons. Remember, there are no problems if you know the solution. It is the only solution to a problem is the solution. And if you want to get a solution without having to go through and pay the dummy tax, then be more interested than interesting. Find people that sit in a situation that you want to be in and ask them for directions. And we're so blessed today. And there's so many different ways. And I will tell you to be educated. And there's other educations than just academia. I'm blessed to be genetically aligned. I wish I was as good at athletics that I am at academia. One of those kids, it was just so easy for me. And then I was jealous for the kids that baseball, football, basketball, hockey was so easy for them. And I struggled, but it doesn't mean that there weren't kids in my class that struggled, but got better grades than me. And I took that perspective onto the fields and the courts out there. And I knew where my basement was when it came to athletics, but I wanted the delta, the desire to always be great. And even if my performance was at my potential, which wasn't even nearly close to other people's basement. And when you're partners with Warren Moon, a Hall of Fame quarterback, you realize, how high some people's basements are. And that's when I realized in academia and education, I was just blessed with a really high basement. My skills and knowledge are really high, aligned with what it takes to learn. But I want to encourage everyone to take and learn about what you love, or learn to love what you want to do, because they both are important. A friend of ours, Bob Parsons, who founded GoDaddy, I love what he had to say to me about learning. He said, David, if you can learn to love what you don't like, and you can learn to love what you don't love or other people don't like or love, and you do it every day, and you don't quit, you have that desire, that delta in your life, life will tell you all its secrets. It'll give you its cheat codes. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. What this book is about is, hey, if you want to have cheat codes, if you want life to be easy, not dis-easy, then buy this book. It's that simple. We already know how to find the solutions. It's called education. And if you have the solution, there will be no problem. I guarantee it. It's mathematically it's impossible. If you have the teacher's guide, it's impossible, almost impossible, unless you really are slipping, to miss the question. So I am, I've bought copies for kids all around the country. It is an entrepreneurial book to me. I saw it when we had our interview, that this is one of the best entrepreneurial books, as well as, people looking to transition or expand into a different area of their life.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. And also, Jim, like, people could take away your job, your material things, but no one can ever take away what you know, right?
Man, Craig, you sound like my dad.
He just looks older. He just looks older than your dad.
Yeah, seriously, it's amazing. It's amazing. I have almost that quote in the book, because I grew up. My dad was, he's a hardworking guy. He's a factory worker, smart guy, but worked really, really hard. And the one thing he didn't really know what to tell me. The one thing he used to say is exactly what you said. They can take your money, they can take your stuff, they can take everything you have, but no one can take what you learn. So learn as much across as many channels as you possibly can. And so that's what I'm all about. It's the breadth of learning. And man, was he right. It's great advice. So keep saying it, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, when I lost everything, people asked me, how'd you make that money back so quickly? Because they couldn't take away what I learned. That's exactly why. And I know Viktor Frankl, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, talks about, his own education and put into the most miserable human condition, maybe in history, that he was able not only to survive, but thrive. And, it was all because of that cornerstone, that backbone of education, that they couldn't take away, even though they tried to dehumanize him every single day of his existence. They couldn't take away the one thing that kept him thriving.
Yeah, David, you and I know several mutual friends that have been on that show, Undercover Billionaire, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of it's a bit of a goofy premise, but they take these guys, put them on the street, and with nothing, with $100 or something like that, and almost all the time they're able to claw their way back and put themselves back into position in a matter of months. It's amazing, but it really is a testament to what you know and how broad your knowledge is to be able to pivot and go from being on the street back into being in a position of wealth and power.
And one thing happens with what you know, it attracts it's truly the aggregate of physics, quantum physics, and metaphysics, this is part of knowing and education. I learned this. It's also who you know, because when you know what you know, you start attracting, aggregating, accelerating who you know. And when you talk about, hey, Dave, our friends have been on this show, and I've been asked to be on the show, which was a blessing, right? It's not because of who I know, it was what I knew that aligned me, because the people who wanted to know what I know and I wanted to know what they know now attracted each other. So I want to reiterate, it's not just knowing what you know, it's when you know what you know, you'll start knowing who also knows what you know or is interested in what you know. And this is a very subtle nuance that a lot of people don't understand about education.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, Dave.
That network.
Go ahead.
That network is amazing, it extends worldwide too. I have a quick story I'll share. I was in Japan one time, and a Korean gentleman walked up to me and said, "Hey, I remember you." And I was like, what What do you mean? Turns out he was running 7-Eleven Korea. I was, I think, CFO or something at the time of 7-Eleven worldwide. So he was one of our licensees. And it turns out he was in my class at Columbia in New York. And he said, oh, I was 3 rows behind you in accounting. And I was just shocked. And, you know, he's still a great friend today. He's chairman of Lotte, and runs this multi-billion-dollar enterprise worldwide. But these networks are worldwide now. They used to be just in your community and then in your country. And now, I mean, it's great to have people all over the world that you can pick up the phone and say, hey, I've got a business deal in Japan or Korea or China. Can you help me out? And they all, you know, come to your side. It's a great thing.
Yeah. Number one common denominator of women who raise money is they went to Stanford. Unbelievable. And no other common denominator. They went to Stanford. So it's the who you know, but in order to get into Stanford and to graduate Stanford, it's what you know. And so if you don't think education is important and you want to raise money as an entrepreneur and you're looking for a leg up, education is a great way to raise money, I'm telling you. So there's so many nuances. This is why this book is so important for all these entrepreneurs out there that think there's a shortcut. The only shortcut I know is to be more interested than interesting and to get educated, find people to learn from. The greatest minds will help you become a great mind.
I love it. We're going to bring on our second guest. Jim, if you have 10 minutes, I'd love for you to hang out.
Sure.
Not understand, but we're going to bring on James, which I'm really excited about. A lot of great energy on this call today.
I always
Super
like that when people are really excited, they think that it'll prove it by saying really excited about it. Hey, James.
Hey, Craig, how you doing? David, my man, how are you?
Good. See, that's how you let someone know you're really excited. Give him the hug, Craig.
James,
Welcome, buddy.
great to see you.
Hey, I'll let you know how excited I am. Craig, I don't know you yet, man, but look what I just invested in. Notice I didn't say
love
spend,
it.
I invested. How about that, brother?
I love
Can't wait to dive into it.
You got to
Love
invest
it.
in the other book, too.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Where are you dialing in from,
My
James?
pleasure.
Where are you right now?
I'm down in South Florida today. I live here in South Florida and also Las Vegas.
I love it. Yeah, we're going to dive right in. For our audience, our community, if you're not familiar, do a deep dive, give them a follow, check them out. You're known for many things. You help some of the most impressive people in the world, from thought leaders, entrepreneurs, celebrities with their marketing, and you do many other things too. But you're so good at it. What is one big misconception when it comes to really effective marketing?
Well, I think people, first of all, thank you all for having me. I'm big fans. I've been a fan of Dave's forever, known him forever. Craig, just got to know you through Dave, but man, I'm so excited to dive into this puppy right here and get to know you better. But watching some of these episodes, man, and they're just awesome. And Jim's amazing. So thank you for having me, first of all.
Absolutely.
I think when it comes to marketing, people have this misconception that you're doing something to people. I'm manipulating people. I'm tricking people. And I always tell people, marketing is not something you do to people. It's something you do for people. It's letting them know the great value you have, the great benefits you have, how you can change their life, how you can make their life better, how you can get them out of a struggle, a discomfort, and how you can get them to a place where they desire to be. And so, I think it's been the stigma that marketing and or even selling is bad because it's portrayed. Look at Hollywood and movies and TV shows portray marketing or marketers or business folks in a bad way. You always see like the slick guy with the toothpick in his mouth with the big rim sunglasses, shirt opened up with chest hairs grabbing at you, saying, hey, baby, I got a deal for you. And then we get that ingrained in our subconscious mind and we go through life. Oh, I don't want to market. Like I'm going to be, slimy like that dude in the TV show or in the movie. And so we get this, embedded, thought in our mind that, oh, marketing's bad and we're manipulating people. And I said, no, marketing's a great thing. You're telling people about the value you have, how you can change their lives and how you can make the world a better place.
Yeah. Beautiful. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, but the math of marketing really helps because people have a problem receiving. And so if you have a problem receiving, you're going to have a problem marketing. And if you don't decipher your true value, then you're going to feel guilty or slimy, marketing something
Yeah.
that you can't articulate a value greater than that which you're asking for. And so I think a lot of people, if they segregate marketing into the 5 different areas that you market for. So, you market to stimulate interest, then you market to transition that interest, then you market to share the value and articulate the value to exceed what you're asking for. Then you're only 20% done with the marketing method. The next part is managing and developing that vision. The real marketing is to actually stay aligned with timing and risk tolerance of what you've promised, knowing that time, emotion, and value change throughout the process. And then there's even a 5th step of marketing, which is, to me, have been the secret sauce of building a community of people that want to help each other and know people that can help each other. The most successful companies like 7-Eleven, like Blockbuster, the most successful companies, they build a community of people that buy from them and sell for them. And so I spend more money marketing to the people in my community than stimulating interest, transitioning interest, articulating a value to see what I'm asking for, and even managing that value. I spend more money combined on marketing to the people that I'm of service to already and are in my community, because they will continue to buy from me and sell for me. And by the way, vice versa. And James, that's where you separated yourself in the iconic vision of what a marketer is. And there are people out there that understand value can be derived only in 2 ways. And once again, 7-Eleven and Blockbuster did this well. You either give people more of what they like or you take away what they don't like. And 7-Eleven in particular, because they have that longevity, they still do that, right? They're giving people what they like and they're taking away what people don't like about having a convenience store or gasoline or what other objects they have. So congratulations to James and both of you guys for really illustrating how important true marketing is in the 5 aspects of marketing.
Yeah, so good. What are we going to say?
Yeah, and I'd like to piggyback on the question that Craig originally asked and how I went into the whole misconception of manipulation. I always ask folks, I say, let me ask you all a question. If I'm speaking, like teaching one of my trainings, I said, do you believe in what you're doing? Like, do you believe in your product, your service, your company, your organization? And of course, everybody puts their hand up. And then I said, well, let me ask you a second question. Do you believe it does what I call AIM? AME, it adds value, it makes a difference, and enriches people's lives? And of course, everybody's hand goes up. I said, then why wouldn't you want everybody on the planet to have it?
Yep.
And if you believe in what you're doing and you believe it changes lives, then like when I have something of value to someone, I want everyone to take it because I know what it'll do for them. And I tell them, when you look at your information, your books, your audio programs, your online programs, your coaching, your widget, your whatever, when you look at it in that manner and you believe to the depth of your soul that you are adding value, making a difference, and enriching people's lives, then it's your obligation to have people take it home with them so that they can truly change their lives.
I think that's so important. Sometimes you have to be your own advocate, especially if you believe in it the way you just described.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, I learned that from Dean and Tony because I was really shy about selling off stage. And they asked me straight out, have you ever bought anything like that? I'm like, yeah, Tony, I bought your 12 cassette tapes. I wore them out when I was driving and selling on the road. And I bought Wayne Dyer's CDs, Power Intention, and everything Dr. Wayne Dyer ever has put out. And they said, hey, well, how'd that work out for you? Would you have been bummed if they didn't sell it to you? I said, well, I wouldn't even probably been here because both of those things made me millions of dollars I've made off of, a $300 purchase. And that's where these people have to get. And the problem is, James, a lot of these guys don't believe. They'll tell you they believe, but or the one that makes me the saddest is that they do believe, but they can't articulate the value because they just assume you get what they know and they're not capable of articulating the value.
Yeah, 1,000%. There's also a thing. I think, social media has been fantastic because I would have never met the 3 of you, if you think about it, if we didn't start finding out first through social media. So there's a great value to that. But also social media has been really terrible because now it's like I teach people how to do the speaking business, right? And somebody does a talk one time and now they think they have the right to go teach others how to do the speaking business, right? You booked one talk, right? So
Well,
we see a lot of,
it's like a 19-year-old life coach, right?
yeah,
Oh yeah, you got me, baby.
yeah. And so I think social media has brought a lot of false prophets, so to speak, and so it's really hard to discern. And I don't think a lot of those folks believe in what they're doing. I think they're just out there trying to sell stuff,
Yeah,
so.
James, don't you agree? It's all about change, and that's one of the things that I've been trying to drive home to all entrepreneurs, all young people, is that it's all about change. And what's cool about social media, I had zero social media presence 3 months ago. Because I didn't
Wow.
need it now, and all of a sudden I put this thing out, and I'm out talking about it, and I had one video that had 35 million views, and I'm going, wow, I'm a believer. I have now adopted this new form of communications, but it's all about change and being able to pivot, right?
Well, there was a time, yeah.
Hold up both your books, by the way. Because I put this at the airports, and people buy books at airports. So hold up Craig's book.
I'm holding Craig's. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, hold it up high. There we go. I'm a marketing guy. These are 2 books that will change your life. So just in case my airport run at Newark, especially, they buy books there.
Oh yeah, that's at Hudson's right now.
Yeah.
There you go.
I know we're getting towards the end and it's Saturday, but real quickly, one final nugget to land the plane. James, I just wanted to ask you real quick. I know it might not be a short answer, but there's motivational speakers, there's inspirational speakers, and then there's transformative speakers like you. And you do such a good job of penetrating people's souls. What is something that you use that makes your ability to communicate so effectively?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that a lot of people tell their stories the wrong way. And you hear a lot of stuff put out there that says, tell your story, tell your story, tell your story. The world needs you, tell your story. And people do that. They go out and tell their story. So what happens, though, to an audience is the audience sits there and goes, okay, that's a good story. Man, I'm so glad she made it. I'm so glad it worked out for him. All right, now I'm going to go get a beer and a hot dog because I don't know what it means to me. Right? And so what I always teach is, look, your story should never be about you. It should be about the audience, right? We always take the stage for the audience and for the others and to serve them. And what I call the power of the napkin, to serve people, right? Always be wearing a napkin. So very simple. Let me just give everybody a quick little tip. When you tell your story, after you go through, let's say 2-3 minutes, I have this little mental wedge I drop into my story, and I say one line. I call it the bridge to people's hearts. So I might say something like this. I grew up in a very tiny steel mill town outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, population of about 6,000 people. We didn't have much growing up. Dad worked in the steel mill as a railroad conductor. Mom was a lunch mother serving lunches to us kids at school. I wasn't a really good student in school. I was what you would call a C student. I would see my way through school. Okay. So here I am. I just said 3 lines about myself, right? Now watch how I make it about the audience. One line, I call it the bridge to people's hearts. And what this means for you is, it doesn't matter where you started in your life. You could be, do, and have anything you desire. It's not about where you started in life. It's where you decide to finish. And then I go right back into my story. So throughout my story, I make my certain chunks about them, because I call it the bridge to people's hearts. What this means for you is, and then I tell them one line of what I just said about myself and how it has meaning to their life. There you go. I'd give that tip.
Unbelievable.
awesome.
Thank you guys, all of
I'm
you.
going to borrow that.
Yeah, the napkin. Yeah. That's great. Real quickly, let's just go around. What's the best way for everybody to support you right now? James.
Oh man, I actually have my new book coming out that I've never done before. I've done 27 books, but I've never really wanted to do this. And I said, I'm going to do it because this is my legacy. And it's going to be called Big Money Speaker Secrets. And it teaches all the business of speaking, where the budgets are, et cetera, et cetera. And that is going to be coming out in June. So if everybody can keep an eye out for it, I'd be most appreciative.
100%. Love that. Congratulations on that. Jim, how about you?
Thank you.
I'm discovering, you guys have introduced me to a whole new world out there. I am having a blast with social media and getting back out. I mean, I haven't been on a speaking circuit or contributing in many ways since I ran big, large, hairy companies. but now the book has really given me a wake-up call that there's a lot of need out there for inspiration, for direction, for a roadmap, and I'm having a blast doing it. So I think with your advice and your help, I'm learning from you guys, because you're masters at this skill. To learn this new medium and get out and see if I can help more people and spread the word.
Well, Jim, you got one more sell, because as soon as we get off of here, I'm going to go invest. Notice I didn't say spend. I'm going to invest in my future success and get your book, brother.
I love that. I love that. That's exactly what it is. It's about investment in yourself.
Love it. And Uncle Dave, how about you?
Yeah, well, come see me. I'm traveling 200 cities this year. Blessed to be booked in New York, Vegas. We're going to be at the Final Four with Marshall Falk in Phoenix. You guys are all invited to the Masters with me as well. Craig, you're going to come down with John Daly and Josh Miranda. I just found out I'm doing Jim. I don't know if you guys like Dane Cook and I are doing a conversation at YouTube Theater as well. We'd love to get you guys on more stages with me. I have many more shows on Apple TV. Just signed a deal with Sirius XM as well. So if you guys want more exposure, I'm trying to put the people that make the difference out there. And then for the community, as always, I'm blessed to be in a position to empower others. So if you want my book for free, I guess you pay for what you get for, but if you want it for free, I'll sign it, send you paid for shipping and the book. Email me, everybody, david@dmeltzer.com, david@dmeltzer.com. Craig, I'll see you soon. Guys, reach out to me. I'd love to do more with both of you. Huge fan of all three of you. I love you guys. Thank you.
Love you guys. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks.
This was awesome.
For having me, man. It's been a blessing. Dave, you're the man. Dave, you're the man.
I love you guys. Thank you. I'll see you soon, James.
Take care.
Have a
Take
great
care,
weekend.
everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody.
What an awesome conversation, guys. Paradigm Shift episode 157 in the books. Check out all the unbelievable stuff James and Jim have going on. Thank you, Uncle Dave, for joining us as always. We're speaking at the UN next week, followed by our first CLS VIP dinner. If you guys are interested, you can shoot me a text at the bottom of the screen, 917-634-3796. Life is good when you get into alignment. Again, check out all the awesome stuff all three of those juggernauts are up to. And thank me later. Let's have an unbelievable weekend. Love you guys. You dig?